register.
All right, it's time set for initial pretrial conference and motion to modify release conditions, State versus Cassandra Jones, 2017-002-869-002. Counsel, please announce.
For the state, Your Honor.
Your Honor, good morning. Craig Raymond on behalf of the victim, Jake Gilknauer.
Your Honor, Jesus Acosta on behalf of Ms. Cassandra Jones, who's present in custody to my right.
All right. Let's talk about the initial pretrial conference. I know we've already had the co-defendants, Mr. Beardsley, 15.1 complied with.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Any discovery issues, Mr. Acosta?
Not at this point.
All right. It's probably too early for a plea offer to be out there. We do have a comprehensive pretrial of December 18th. The co-defendants are the same, right? Make sure the co-defendants are the same. Okay. All right, let's talk about release, Mr. Acosta.
Your Honor, as pointed out in the report, Ms. Cassandra Jones has had a bypass. She really can't eat anything. She's lost over 25 pounds. She's really in need of nutrients. Obviously, that causes concerns with my ability to talk to her, her ability to be, I'm not saying there's any Rule 11 issues, but I would hate that occur. I think those are obviously a necessity for her to be out at this point. I would ask for her to be released on pretrial services. It looks like the report does say that that's appropriate. I would ask for pretrial services, or if that is not an option for the court, to lower the bond. One difficulty that we have is the others have been lowered their bond, and therefore the same individual would likely be paying it, and maybe in a circumstance that may not be able to pay it all, and therefore is why I was asking for the pretrial services, so that because of finances, she's not stuck in a situation where she's still not having the diet that she needs or any of those circumstances.
All right, Mr. Beardsley.
Your Honor, the state's objecting to any modification of release for the same reasons put forth for the co-defendants. Ms. Cassandra Jones poses a flight risk, and she's demonstrated a willingness to evade law enforcement contact through the nature of the offense. Mr. Raymond is here to read a statement from Jacob Gochner.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, good morning. Mr. Gilknauer is up in Montana. He's asked me to read the following statement. Your Honor, I'm begging the court that Cassandra Jones' bail and release terms not be modified. My son was missing for nearly 4 months because of a plot she came up with. My ex-wife has told the court that she only left with my son because that was what her mother, Cassandra, told her to do. Cassandra has had the police called on her multiple times for domestic violence when she has attacked both her husband and children. It will be vital for the integrity of this case that Cassandra have electronic monitoring and that she not be allowed to be around her minor daughters who are witnesses in this case. She is manipulative to the point she convinced her adult daughter to commit multiple crimes, including a felony. Cassandra arranged and paid the getaway driver who drove my ex-wife and son out of the state. Cassandra then staged a text conversation with this driver to accuse me of having abducted and harmed my ex-wife and son. Later, Cassandra would attempt to pay the same driver hush money to hide what she had done. Cassandra knew all the while exactly where my ex-wife Madeline and my infant son William were. This did not stop her from lying to police, the media, clergy, family, and friends. She regularly went online claiming she had a confirmation from God that Madeline and my baby had been tortured and were dead. Cassandra told everyone that either I or my family members were responsible for Madeline's death and William's torture. The day my son went missing, Cassandra's search history on her phone shows that she searched for an ipecac syrup, a medicine that induces vomiting. She also called multiple pharmacies trying to locate the ipecac. I know that she poisoned my son with a vomit-inducing medicine because later the same day, she reported to the pediatrician that my baby was throwing up multiple times and claimed that I gave my baby something to make him sick. Later, she would report he actually threw up hundreds of times that day. I have no doubt that she would go to any lengths, even poisoning my son, to fit the narrative she was pushing. She is cold. and calculated in the depths of her deception. While my son was missing, Cassandra went so far as to participate in online fundraisers and in-person fundraising, asking her friends and family to donate money to hire private investigators and find the missing duo. She accepted thousands of dollars under false pretenses. She told donors the private investigator had been hired and had many leads. There was no private investigator. It was all a lie. Cassandra was filmed driving her minor daughters around town, pulling down missing flyers that volunteers trying to help find my ex-wife and baby had put up. She regularly involves minors in her crimes. Cassandra even had her minor daughter pretend to have leukemia and use that fake illness to garner public sympathy and support. She has no line, even with her own children, that she is not willing to cross. I fear that Cassandra should not be allowed contact with minor children. Not only will the integrity of the case be jeopardized, but also the safety of her own children. Cassandra tampered with other witnesses as well. The woman who dyed my ex-wife hair the day she went missing was coached by Cassandra as to what she should and should not tell police. This is all on the recording of a phone call. Cassandra threatened this witness that the witness would end up in jail if she said anything. Cassandra lied to her church congregation, claiming that their family had no income and had the church pay their house payments and utilities. All the while, she and her husband brought in $13,000 per month, multiple months in a row. They then used this money to keep Madeline and my son hidden. Cassandra was apprehended while trying to board a plane and flee the state. She's certainly a flight risk. In addition, Cassandra was able to manipulate a non-interested third party for participating in this crime for only $100. My fear is that even if Cassandra is not allowed to leave the state, she will once again be able to manipulate someone to participate in hurting my son, me, and my family. As of the date of this letter, my ex-wife Madeline is not under electronic monitoring. That's not good.
No,
She is?
no, she is.
I apologize for that, Judge. I am petrified that once Cassandra is out, she will be able to convince Madeline to once again kidnap my son and lie about what has already happened. Cassandra will argue that she does not have the ability to meet the current bond. However, co-defendants also argue they could not meet even the reduced bail amount. Yet the very next day, both her and her husband Roland and her daughter Madeline were able to easily meet the cash bond requirements. If it is true that they did not have the funds available, then they would mean someone else has given them that money. Therefore, should Cassandra's bail requirement be reduced? Therefore, should Cassandra's bail requirement be reduced, it most likely will not be her money on the line. As Cassandra has shown throughout her blatant misuse of other people's money, she does not care what the impact of the loss of that money is on others. There is no doubt in my mind that if her bail is reduced, it will be quickly met and Cassandra will be out doing what she has shown she is so willing and capable of. She will lie to family, friends, clergy, law enforcement, and this court. She will continue to attempt to control her family and friends' testimonies. She will intimidate her family like she always does into complying with her, or they will face her wrath. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state is objecting. If you are considering lowering the bond, we ask that she be released to pretrial services with electronic monitoring and no co-defendant contact should she post that bond.
All right. Mr. Costa, I'll give you the last word.
Your Honor, obviously what victim's attorney stated is what she's charged with at this point, and as we know, she's innocent until proven guilty. She will deal with the matter. She doesn't have any other place to go. She will remain in Arizona. She will comply with all her obligations. She is well aware of her situation. I understand where the victim's attorney says about finances, but obviously those finances have been exhausted with the other two individuals. It sounds like their concern is also placing an electronic monitor on my client. My client is fine with that, especially if the court is able to place her on that monitor and not have a bond and just release her to pretrial services. I believe that would be more appropriate. That would cause more comfort in the victim so that they know where she's at, they know where to track her, they know her whereabouts, and therefore we would ask that if not to lower the bond.
All right. I am going to be consistent here on the two co-defendants. I reduced the bond to $5,000 secured bond. I think that's appropriate with this defendant as well. I see them as similarly situated.
Judge, I apologize for interrupting, but there was a $5,000 cash bond for the other two co-defendants.
All right, thank you. It'll be a $5,000 cash bond. If she is released, she will be placed on an ankle monitoring system. If you are released, you are to have no contact with the victims whatsoever. You understand that? No contact whatsoever. Yes. That will be a big problem. You will be back in where you are now if you have any contact with the victims. You're also not to have any contact with the co-defendants in this case. That would be a problem. With regard, if you can't meet the bail, which I have the feeling you will be able to, if you can't meet the bail, then whatever dietary concerns you have with the sheriff, I'm not going to order the sheriff what to do in terms of providing you appropriate food, but I'm sure you've raised those concerns with the sheriff's office, and hopefully that'll be addressed if you are not able to reach your bond.
Senator, just one question I had. As far as no contact with the victims, one is her husband. Is the husband also given that requirement, or is that just a requirement on our part? And if so, I was just asking if we could remove that requirement now.
No, it's for all the co-defendants. I made the same requirement. All right. I'll affirm the December 18th comprehensive pretrial.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
I'm sure we could deal with it on the 18th, but I did file a motion to designate complex. Obviously, everyone else is not here to give us their input, so we could just address it on that court.
All right. I'll hold that in abeyance until December 18th. Ms. Jones, if you are released, you need to be here on December 18th, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand that? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. She helped. Yeah, she said it. And she said, cover her, make it look like, okay. In church. Oh, she never did hire the private. I see. Church.
She's standing over the side talking to scheduler or bailiff or somebody.
No, is the guy going too?
Not that I know of.
So it's just her?
Yeah, it wasn't on the board.
Oh, just her?
Yeah,
Okay, so we're done.
I'm 95% sure.
That's good. Oh, shoot. You know, it's a tough day here.
What you got?
There's different things.
Your bailiff's gonna be buying a lot of donuts. You just stuck to her like glue.
Hold on.
It's like, dude, get away.